Okay.
Did Andy leave us?
Oh, he's here.
Oh, he's here.
Yes.
Okay. He's on the
Yeah,
phone chat. Okay. Hey, Andy. Does Andy want to come up and
yeah, good luck with that.
talk with us? I don't know if Andy does that or not because I've never really
Not usually. Not lately.
gotcha. Well, you're welcome to, Andy, if you want to.
So you know what's interesting, Chris, is the one on, not that this, I'm not drawing any conclusions, but Step's house is like a quarter mile to the river. What's the name of that river?
Holston
I
River?
think that's
It's
Tennessee River.
actually Tennessee River.
Oh, is
Oh,
it
okay.
Holston?
Sorry. Are we
So
talking
we don't.
about
It could be
Knoxville
Holston.
or
Yeah, that's the Knoxville area. But we
okay?
were talking earlier, and Kiki was saying that. Oh, actually, it's probably in his record that Dennis actually lived in Maryville. Knoxville's also on his record. So Kiki, just so you know, Chris and I were brainstorming like we do the other night on the phone every now and then, and we were like, okay, let's consider the theory that if it is at all true, would that represent another potential wherever he lived at the time, June 2021? Should that be a focus? Should those areas be examined and analyzed for search locations? But of course, we probably have to confirm that there's some truth to it, or we're wasting a whole lot of time. But that's what we were talking about.
Right. So when you get down into Knoxville, obviously you're talking about a very urban and populated area, right? Um, so search and rescue with specifically the technology that I use with drones is going to be completely different in an area like Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
Around here, you're mapping out huge areas of a lot of farmland, a lot of open areas, forest areas, and you have some of that down there, but it's a little bit different. You kind of got to know you kind of got to know where you're going to be searching and um, how to change your grid pattern when it comes to Knoxville.
Yeah, because it's more urban, right? So it's
Yeah,
a lot more
Well,
complicated.
yeah. And I'm, like I said, I'm willing as long as I have a sitter to help you guys if you
Well,
want the help.
it looks like if we did, and this would only be if Dennis DJ lived in Knoxville in 2021 at the time. All his addresses, unfortunately, a lot of times they'll show a date, but his are not. So I don't know. He's currently, I'm not gonna say where he's currently living. That wouldn't be appropriate, but he's currently not in Knoxville, not in Maryville. There's a whole bunch of other addresses, and there's no dates, so we'd have to dig a little further to find out
Yeah,
2021 where.
yeah, yeah. I think I think that would be a good start. I really do. And even,
Well,
I mean,
I mean,
the
Kiki, if you
Tennessee
think about it,
River right there is close to
it
the Steps house.
it, it is. But you and I, we've talked about this. We don't know if this is true yet, and there's nothing unless the family can convince us, which apparently they're not willing to do. But if they can talk about, or if DJ is willing to talk about this whole claim and debunk it, then we don't have to waste our time. If he can prove where he was, where he has an alibi for June 2021, which would be really easy. It's like, DJ, where were you on June 2021? He could just tell us where he was. Or hopefully there are witnesses, and then we don't have to waste time. But apparently they don't want to
Yeah,
talk to you anymore, so we don't know. Like, what can we do? Do we assume based on
yeah.
what they've said?
I'm gonna show those texts now, Ryan. Is that okay with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Good timing.
Okay. Yeah, really good timing. So Let me get the correct ones. I've blurred out names just to keep identities, and this is for protection of my mother and others. So let's see this right here. We'll start
Mm.
with this one. I hope I'm doing the right one.
Good
This
question
was
by
the last
Felicia.
one.
By
Hang on, let
Felicia
me
was
take this.
asking why. Sorry, by Felicia was asking why Fred was looking in their windows and why didn't he take the bike. I don't know about the window thing. I don't know what your opinion is, Kiki, on the window thing, but I know the bike thing definitely bothers me a lot in his comment when he took it. Do you remember that
I
from
remember
Karen's
that.
image? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why would Don know what it means? It was the weirdest comment if it's true, which I believe Karen. So, or his sister, her sister.
I do
Just
too.
weird.
My computer's doing something crazy. Okay, so this is the text that was given around 3 o'clock yesterday. Blank, and that's Grace Paris. At first, I said I would do that, but I stopped myself and realized I did not talk to God about this. So I pray and ask in God before I jump into something that I have not known anything about, which is strange to me
That is.
because this is the mother of Dennis.
Hmm.
Okay. And if Dennis did say those things to Fred, you would think that he would talk to his mother about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I pray and ask God before I jump into something that I have not known anything about. And if I don't have peace over it, well, then I'm not going to do it. It brought confusion, is what she meant to me. And like I said, I've not heard any of this until you brought it to our attention. So I'm just going to leave myself out of this. And I think it says Ann Colleen, which is Dennis Smith's girlfriend that Fred was alleging to have been keeping children in the motel.
And she says she hasn't heard anything about this until you start talking to her.
Yeah,
That is weird. It is weird if he, well, I don't know. If we think through it, if Dennis truly was involved in this whole thing and he let it slip to Fred, is that something he would tell his own mother? To,
exactly.
to
Or
I don't know. I don't.
what's strange too, the sister told me, and this is alleged because I don't know if anything's true or not. Don't you know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
she also said when Dennis was in the halfway house with Fred that Fred used his phone a lot.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to me. So here we go. Here's another text. This is Grace Paris, trying to tell them that, and I talk to people and she talked to people, okay? I know Blink was, and that was me, was wanting to help. And Grace typed wrong. Look good on here. His name is brought up by a man he was in the halfway house with. That is a suspect, allegedly. We don't know if he's a suspect or not. Grace might got it wrong. On Summer Wells. Blink was mad DJ and Colleen got brought into it. So, I mean, I wasn't mad, but because I don't know the people. But what I'm saying is, I was aggravated because if these people are not what he's saying, then I'm confused because if somebody's going to blame me with something, I'm going to
Hmm.
pop up and
Yeah.
I'm going to straight up say, no, here's my proof. I did not do this. Okay. And I'm not alleging anyone's done anything. But when you just kind of back up and you're like, nope, it kind of just throws a red flag out to what's going on with this whole thing. Is Fred telling the truth or is DJ telling the truth? Is TBI possibly said, hey, because allegedly, according to the sister, Dennis has talked to TBI. They came to him.
According to the
So,
sister.
yeah. And that's the sister saying that about DJ. So
Interesting.
TBI went not to the sister, but to Dennis, allegedly, and he talked with them. TBI, I mean, they're not going to, they're going to keep things close to the vest. They could have said, hey, don't speak. You can't speak on this. You know,
Interesting.
we don't know. But here's the reply from the mother. Yes, I'm aware of that. I talked to him. He said, no, he cannot be a part of that. And this is talking about Dennis. I told him it was about him, and he told me to leave it alone. So that's that. And that's the last form of communication that we had.
I think Kathy Gordon made a good point too. That the other thing that happens too, I was just typing this in chat, but I'll just say it, is you reached out to them, to the family, to the mom, sister, and eventually DJ, and they're starting to talk. And of course, if the mother really didn't know what was going on or didn't even know about this, first place she's going to probably go is YouTube, type in Dennis Smith and DJ or whatever, look to see what's being posted, because the comment she made about all it brought is confusion does kind of confirm what Kathy's saying might have happened. Is they went on YouTube, looked, found all these videos, all these crazy videos, and then realized, okay, this is insane, and maybe that's why they started to freak out as well.
Yeah, maybe. We don't know who, we don't know the truth. And I'm not going to speculate and say, this one's guilty, this one's guilty. We're not the court of law. We're not the law enforcement. We're just here to find, the truth. So I don't know. But it was just leave it, and that's that. So we just let,
Sorry, I messed. It was Cabe Spear. I'm sorry. It wasn't Kathy who said that, I guess. But anyway, the other thing is, did you already show the message from, or the comment that DJ made? Because that's pretty telling too. Have we gotten there yet? I can't remember if we showed it.
Yeah, let me go back and I'll do it.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that's interesting. Yeah.
Now, this is, according to his mother, what he said back. It's trying to click on. I'm sorry. My little computer.
He cannot be part of that. I told him it was about him. There was the other thing he said. Do you remember? It was something like, leave it alone or something. I don't know if you showed that.
Yeah, it's on the end there. It says, and he told me to leave it alone.
Oh, there we go. I'm blind. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That comment right there, and he told me to leave it alone, is what somebody says if they don't want to stir a hornet's nest, which means there's maybe a hornet's nest. So that's interesting. What is there that will be stirred up if he talks? There's something there for sure.
So we left it because we're not here to pressure people, make them feel uncomfortable or anything. We just, want to know what the truth is, man. I mean, it's just that simple.
I think
it's so hard for everybody to tell the truth.
So Chris, if we can get, if we can't get any further, if Kiki can't get any further along with Dennis and get him to talk, and we don't know if he is or isn't, or could have been or not. And I'm curious what your opinion is here. Is if we can get the date wherever he was living in June 2021, not to stalk him, but just to know the area, right?
Right.
In your opinion, is that enough? It's very speculative. We don't know if he was even involved. It's a random comment he made. Would you suggest investing time in areas around there?
Absolutely. Why not? Where do you have to go? I mean, not investing time in finding Summer is a travesty, right? It's something that I don't even like to think about. If Sure, if it's something way off that's going to be, we know is far left field is not true, then sure, why, don't waste time on stuff like that. But if this is something that's, a possibility, even if it's a possibility, then yeah, absolutely. Take the time, look into it.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
some resources into it and try to at least debunk it or look into the areas that it's a possibility where she may be. I mean,
Yeah. I think if he hadn't made that comment, I would have been like, no, it's not worth it. But I agree with you. He made that comment and it's fishy. It doesn't sound right to me. Like I said, sounded like there's a hornet's nest, which means maybe there is something. And I'm not gonna always say Fred always lies, but his comment actually, believe it or not, leans me in the direction that I don't know if everything Fred says is true that this guy allegedly said to him, but his behavior now. Kiki's reaching out. She's like, "Hey, there's this crap being said about you. Let's chat." And all of a sudden, he's like, "I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole." Well, if I was
right.
being accused, I'd be like, "Hell yeah, let's go up tonight. I'll respond
Yep.
to this crap." It's
Yep.
weird.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's
Yeah.
clear
I
my
mean, I've,
name. Let's get this
I've
out of
been
here.
in chats before and people will just say something about me, and I'm like, hey, give me a link. Give me a link.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange. It really is strange. And like, we
Yep.
can map out some areas, guys. I really think it would be worth it. I really do.
I do too. And this,
Kiki, do you happen to know of any addresses or any locations right off? I'd be happy to pull up Google Earth and share my screen and see kind of what we could look at.
I don't. Do
Well,
you
Do you
have?
if
have any
you
of that
look,
yet?
not yet, not yet.
Okay.
But I think for some reason, I think it would be worthwhile around the area of the halfway house. The reason being, and I'm saying this, if what Fred is alleging is true about, and what's very strange to me is how Fred is and Ziggy are very specific on the motels. If you live out of state or if you live an hour and a half, 2 hours away, how do you know exactly which motel and what area you're mapping out with law enforcement?
Mhm.
Right.
So I would start, honest to goodness, in one of the worst areas in Knoxville, to be honest.
I don't know
So
about
I
that
know
so
one.
we
people
don't
want to hear
actually
about it.
know we don't know where the halfway house is. We just know that it's in a bad area of Knoxville. Is what you're
But
saying?
I mean,
I know where it's at, but I just don't want to
Okay,
say on here. Yeah,
I
we can
understand.
communicate. Um, Grace knows exactly the three motels. I'll tell you that. And she actually drove by one today, but it was too packed. But these are the local areas where sketchy things happen.
Okay.
So that and Killer Looks is here. Hey, Killer Looks, you've been killing it on those videos. Um, but also, yeah, Grace says both halfway houses bad area, but also they mentioned specifically Magnolia, Cherry Street, Alcoa Highway. There is an Executive Inn, okay, that's in the south area of Knoxville. That's not a good area whatsoever. And then you've got the Tennessee River that's right there between the Executive and the halfway house. So that's really interesting to me, the Tennessee River. Yeah, Justin says the toughest streets of Knoxville because you have Magnolia and Cherry Street that connect with what we call under the bridge. and that's where the homeless encampments are and such.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've actually drove through there in the middle of the night on the way to a church service, and
Yeah.
they will block the road and stand with buggies and such in the middle of the road to get you to stop to do things. And my husband was full force. They better move out of the way. so so I know I could help y'all. I do believe.
So the half I don't know what the halfway houses would be valuable because that's years later, but where his address was in 2021, I think is key. And definitely the sketchy hotels because we've heard all the hotel stories.
Yes,
And so those two things. And I think ICU and others have said they may be able to help us find the dates to go along with those addresses. So between the community collaborative effort, digging research, we may be able to
yes,
figure out the 2021 address. Hopefully.
I agree. I agree.
Or the family may come back to you and say, "Hey, we'll talk now," which would be even more efficient.
It would be amazing, amazing. But for some reason, I just feel like Knoxville is a big hot spot, and like you said, around that other area, because that other area, and I'm not going to say on here, but there's a lot of pasture fields, lots of pasture fields and open wide spaces, woods, things like that.
You know, Chris, Knoxville is a hotspot for missing persons, for trafficking, a lot of stuff. It's almost
Yep.
worth going there. I mean, it's only an hour and a half away. We were talking, you and I were talking the other night about, some evening doing field exercises. Why
Yeah.
don't we just go to Knoxville, do some field exercises, and we may stumble across evidence of some case. You never know. So,
That is true. And you're right with Knoxville being right there where I-75 runs through Interstate 40 and 81. It's you can go anywhere from Knoxville, and
Oh yeah,
it is a
it's a
yeah,
hub.
it's definitely it is 100% a hub of drug trafficking and human trafficking. Um,
I think that someone stated that from Michigan down, I think it's I-75. There's an interstate that connects from the north all the way through Knoxville that goes all the way to Atlanta and Florida.
Yep.
Absolutely does. Yep.
I'm curious.
So,
Has Andy's in chat? That there's it's continues to be repeated the whole Knoxville trips, and Fred always takes Don. We know Don does. He goes to Knoxville. I mean, we've seen evidence of that ourselves, even recently with people who know them are like, he disappeared again. He's going to Knoxville. That's what he does. But Fred added Andy to Don's Knoxville trips, and I don't understand. I don't think we've ever. I don't think I've ever asked Andy about the whole. Not. I mean, I've seen him deny up and down that there's no what would he say prostitute trips and all that kind of crap. But I mean, I know Andy and his family took trips to vacations to like Chattanooga. I think is a place they like to go and hang out. The family, but I don't know, Andy. Are you willing to confirm or deny this ridiculous? Okay, he just did. I didn't go to Knoxville with Dan. Okay, with Don. Okay, just keep hearing this over and over and over. I started wondering, did Andy like going to Knoxville too? I don't
yeah.
know.
And see, a lot of places connect with Knoxville that you can go on vacation up in the mountains and different things to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. And I'll tell you, Pigeon Forge is a sketchy, well, yeah, in the Pigeon Forge area, it's sketchy too. I've experienced something tragic up there actually. I'll just tell you a little bit about my story. You know, I had children, but we were in a store up in that area. And my husband, thank God, was with me and my son, but I was pushing a buggy, and these men with backpacks were following me around.
Mhm.
And I went straight, I told the kids, I said, hold the buggy. We're going straight to your dad. I went straight to him. The guy followed me all the way to my husband. My husband's a big guy. My husband turned around and he was pretty much in his face. And he said, you better get back or you're going to get what's coming to you, pretty much. The guy
Mhm.
went with another guy. They got together and left the store. And we made a police report. So
I've
anywhere
heard.
from Knoxville to Deerville, Maryville area, I'm telling you, it's so bad.
Yep. In that area, I heard another person told me a story. This guy, I think I might have seen it on Facebook. He was posting this weird situation he encountered. He was at Walmart and he saw this guy. I don't remember what race he was. It doesn't really matter. But this guy was in Walmart with a phone, and he was following this woman and her child. He was just like filming her around the store, and this guy was watching this guy filming this woman, and he's like, this doesn't look right. And he went and talked to the store owner, the customer service, and he was like, hey, do you have secret shopper in here just doing some thing that they do? And they're like, no, we definitely don't. And so he reported it, and he eventually got to the woman and told her, look, there's a guy following you, filming you, and talking to someone at the same time on the phone, almost like they're casing out this woman and her child. It's scary, and that does happen. And thankfully, this guy, scared away the other guy and he took off. But you never know. You're right. People need to be hyper aware, especially in those areas.
So,
Well,
sorry, Kiki.
go ahead, Chris. No, you go
Uh,
ahead.
Back when, before I was, before I was really official and knew what I was doing, um, I was asked by an organization that was coming down to search for summer to do some recon on pretty much on Ben Hill in the Beach Creek area, and I can tell you that there was a couple of times where and this is probably nothing new. This is nothing that everyone doesn't know already, but there was a couple times even back then, not long after Summer went missing, where Dawn's car would leave and be gone in the middle of the night for hours and hours on end, and um, would eventually show back up, several hours later. We all kind of know what those trips were now, right? Um, but it does seem like Knoxville comes up a lot, um, whether it's Dawn going to Knoxville for those reasons. Now we've got yeah, now we've got this new scenario, and I think that we should focus on Knoxville. It's not a bad idea.
I mean, whether it's the cases we're focused on or a random, you never know. I mean, we could stumble on something. I think it's a good idea. I don't think Knoxville, just based on the number of cases, the volume, if you look up Tennessee missing, the website that TBI has a list, and there's other organizations that keep a list of all the Tennessee missing. And sorry, I'm distracted by. Yes, Grace Bear said yes. TJ, I will have to look it up. And can you drop Chris' link? I'll have to figure out what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Mom Grace, does Chris have a channel? Yes. Chris is Echoes in the Mountains. He just posted it.
You all drop all the channels there. Drop
Yeah,
Killer, drop Chris, the
Chris,
ones that are out
Chris
to
and
help.
Chris and Kiki are similar in that they are focused on using their skill set to get to the truth, and it's either contacting people, interviewing people, researching like Kiki does, or in Chris's case, doing the land analysis around the case areas and trying to figure out where to drone, what technology to use to drone, because he has to pick thermal or near infrared or visual 4K or whatever. Of course, Chris, you probably have 8K at this point with your technology, I'm assuming. But they are amazing. That's why I'm continuing to support these two channels. They're amazing. So please do check them out and subscribe. They're just I love it when channels focus on evidence and facts and not any other drama. Where I was headed earlier, real quick, Kiki, if you don't mind, is the volume of cases. Knoxville is definitely a hot spot. East Tennessee, like several people in chat said, East Tennessee is pretty bad with the number of people going missing. It seems to be a trafficking spot as well. The worst part of the state, for some reason, if you look at the number of cases, the volume of cases, is the Memphis area and Nashville areas are absolutely worse than East Tennessee. It's ridiculous. Memphis is I wouldn't want to live anywhere near Memphis, especially if I was female or had children. I don't know what's going on over there, but Memphis is a nightmare. We may do another mapping video at some point covering the other side of the state like we did before, but it's scary, you guys. The trafficking aspect of this is really scary.
Yeah, Memphis. I remember my family went down there for, I think it was a football game, and my husband actually they went to go eat in the mall. I didn't take the smaller kids there. I said nope, not taking them there. And there was armed guards inside the mall.
Yeah.
Walking around. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
but there
unfortunate
is,
when
like go ahead, guys.
yeah, when
I'm
you
sorry.
start to think about the possible human trafficking aspect of this, there's multiple missing people here in the Kingsport area alone over the past 5-6 years that there's no trace, no sign of them. And what does that leave you to think is that it's a possibility that they were human trafficked. Maybe there's a trafficking ring that's using this area, the Tri-Cities region or the Kingsport area, because of the easy access to, what did we say earlier, Interstate 81. You hit 81, you hit 40, you hit 75, and you're out of here. It's really sad because when you start thinking about that, the possibilities are truly endless. But that's where we have to come together. As I really wish that the YouTube community could move away from the drama of the case and focus more on outreach and getting Summer's name out there even further, not just into this region, but across every corner of the United States of America and into every corner of the world. Because if we could move away from drama and focus on getting Summer's name on every YouTube channel that we could, getting a picture of Summer in Mexico, in Canada. I know that sounds crazy, guys, but this is what it's going to take to solve this case. If Summer's not in this area and she's far away somewhere, then who's to say she'll ever be found if we don't get her name and her pictures out there.
Could you imagine, Chris? Could you imagine, you guys, if every channel, instead of talking about other channels or speculating on rumors, if they use their skills, their research skills, like in the case of Chris, their technology skills, all of us working together and collaborating, using our own skill sets together to identify areas, to identify potential people like Kiki's doing, and actually, man, I really do think it could be a help. I know everyone says let law enforcement do their job, right? They always say that. But if you've got a community of people that are using open source intelligence, or using technology like this, search technology, why not? Why not all work together to actually see if we can find evidence or something that could help? I agree with you, Chris.
And I was going to tell you, hey Seth, I saw you in chat. Good to have you here. Um, my mother, I don't know if she wants me to tell you this, worked in for a judge for 32 years in Knoxville. So there is a new sheriff. He is amazing. There's things
Yeah.
happening actually in Knoxville as we speak that are getting things cleaned up. And I think that we would have support in Knoxville. Just saying.
I, I mean, Kiki, I think we will soon have support as of September in Hawkins County. The new sheriff in Hawkins County has expressed being very open to. I think if Chris or I mean, I know that Nana for Life has already talked to him and said, "Hey, we're willing to help. We're willing to do whatever we can to help." And he seemed very open to the possibility of working more with the public than they've done to date. I'm very excited about that. I think he's going to be very open to it in Summer's case.
That's awesome. Could you imagine if we had, say we drawn, we Chris done the drones and we done the footwork and everything, and we could get the sheriff from Knoxville to get with Hawkins County. Could you
Yeah, yeah,
imagine what a group that would be to search
mm,
for this little girl? You know?
yeah. I agree.
Um, Kiki, Ryan, I'm sitting here thinking about all of this. And you know, here's what I think would be a great idea. Um, everything aside, what if we engage the community, all of the followers of all of our channels, um, and we tried to find people that live in every state in America, maybe even people that live in Mexico, um, people that we could trust and enlist to help us at least put a picture of Summer in every state in the United States of America.
Mm.
Um, that's not too far fetched. Can you imagine how amazing it would be to say that we've put her picture at least somewhere in every single state in America?
Chris, we could do
That'd
that.
be amazing.
We could do that.
I mean, Chris and I have been talking leading up to this weekend. I can't remember when we planned it, but we're planning on going to the other side of the mountain. Chris and I have a plan to, and there's another YouTuber slash local who's going to help. I don't know if she wants us to mention her name, so I'm not going to, but that was in the Fall Branch area. But Chris, that is brilliant because, and I'm sure we would get people here who have been printing flyers, laminated flyers, more than willing to print out flyers that we could then ship for free to anyone across the world. That would be 100% absolutely. We should do that. Yes, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Get her face, name in every country, man. Because if there's trafficking, you never know, right? Someplace in Switzerland and nobody ever considered, some person in Switzerland puts up her name and someone sees her face on a poster, and then sees her down the street. Man,
Well,
yeah,
just think if somebody goes on a vacation, they go on a cruise. You could put them up in the elevators or hand them out to people, and say this little girl's missing in Tennessee. You don't know who's on the cruise ship. A lot of people take cruise ships
yeah.
and then they stop and dock in other countries or what have you. So you could do that.
I love it. I love it. Get her face everywhere across the world, because it's not everyone on YouTube who follows the case thinks that everyone in the world knows about Summer Wells, and they don't. You talk to people on the street and you say, "Hey, have you ever heard of Summer Wells?" Even in Hawkins County, even people in Hawkins County, where she went missing from, they'll tell you like, "Oh, you mean the blonde kid who went missing years ago?" "Oh yeah, kind of." And a lot of people will tell you no, they've never followed it. They don't know anything about it. which it blows our minds because we, all of us here on YouTube, it's what we listen to, it's what we follow. But that's a brilliant idea, Chris. It really is.
I was trying to unmute. Thank you so much, Chris, for saying that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Robin, thank you for being here, honey. I know she had to do some things
last
with
bit
her
to Hawaii.
family,
I agree.
and we're praying for you, Robin. Guys, do you care if I play my little happy dance thing for my ones that have gifted real quick?
Oh, please do.
I don't want to leave the people out who have gifted today. Let me play that, and y'all can dance along if you like it.
Yeah,
no dancing. Just a second. They always like the beaver. They like the beaver, so I'm gonna play the beaver one. Okay. Here we go. Maybe.
Thank you for becoming a member of my channel. Kiki 2025, true crime on this channel. You will see everything true crime, from podcast to cases to podcast. True crime. True crime. True crime. True crime. True crime.
And a little joke about that. We always say that little old lady on the end is Grace Paris, but she's gonna kill me. It's really not. It's really not. But anyways, thank you for everybody who gifted. I'm trying. My computer's moving like a turtle, but I appreciate you. And I'm gonna have to get supper on for these kids, guys. I greatly appreciate you coming up, and it's been an amazing live, and I look forward to working with you guys. Please go sub up to Chris's channel, Echoes in the Mountains, and also, hey, Lady Freedom, good to have you. And also sub up to Ryan Finds Truth. Him and Jen have been boots on the ground for quite some time, and Chris. And maybe Kiki is going to be boots before long. We shall see, right? I don't know. We'll see. But I appreciate y'all. I really wanted to talk longer, but family duties call.
You're fine. Thank you for allowing me to be on the channel. One thing I do want to say real quick before we all go, I will go ahead and start this, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a database, a spreadsheet that'll have a link to it. I'll get this up in the next couple of days. We can share this in all of our chats, all of our videos, and basically all your viewers will have to do is click on the link, fill out just a couple of questions, your name, where you're from, are you willing to put a flyer out there in your state? And then we can just go through all of these. And once we get at least, it doesn't even have to be one person from every state. We could have 10 people from every state, you know, but I'll get that started. And we can start posting that on our channels.
Yep. And we will, to support Chris on that too, we will fund the flyers that can be printed and sent out to anyone for free. Chris and I will, anyone who contacts, or Kiki, anyone who contacts us and wants a flyer, absolutely. And I do want to say real quick too, these two channels, Kiki and Chris, I'm on a mission personally to, I don't care if you have 200 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 5,000, whatever. If you are the type of YouTuber who's going to focus on trying to get facts, do that kind of research. Like I said, open source research like Kiki's doing, or if you're willing to go boots on the ground, and search. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to be in East Tennessee. If you are in another area, you want to focus on searching in your area, you want advice from Chris and I on technology like drones, if you want to figure out how you can get your dog into canine search, we will support you. And Jen and I are going to support every single channel. One thing we noticed, Kiki and Chris, is when people have come in, this happened to us, obviously, everyone who's followed us knows this. People come into a case like Summer or Sebastian, the big cases. If you cover the cases, not too many that aren't too popular, people will kind of leave you alone. But if you start trying to cover these cases the right way, you're gonna get hit, or you're gonna get hit with negativity, or you're going to be completely ignored by the big channels that are covering the case. And Jen and I have a mission to do the opposite. If you're doing the right thing, if you're following that mission of trying to get to the truth the right way and not doing any drama in these cases, not feeding the drama, Jen and I will do everything in our power. We don't have a lot of power, but at least we built a community now, and our community will support your communities. And we're going to do everything we can to support your channels and grow your channels so we can, like Chris was alluding to before, if we can go in the non-drama route and drown out the drama with good actions and things that are non-drama, research, searching, I believe that's the only way to do this, you guys. That's the only way to get to the truth in these cases and actually do something good with YouTube. YouTubers don't have to be viewed as these negative people who hurt these cases. We can do some good. And that's the kind of thing we will support. So I want to thank you, Kiki, you, Chris, for, joining this fight and really doing it the right way, doing the right thing. So we appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you so much. And like you said, there's hardly ever, in Sebastian's case and in Summer's case, there's hardly anybody left that does really true crime and does it for the good. It's all led by Krama, like they're saying. Smoky Mountain Robin, thank you. I did not see that. I don't know how to send money to each of you, so fight amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm going to have to give you guys some money. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to collaborate, and we're going to find more answers together. We will work together. I'm willing to work with, like I said, the ones, like you said, the ones that are willing to actually fight for truth and not put up with the BS all over the place. So, but I greatly appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for coming up to my little bitty channel.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Justice for Summer, guys. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Bye.
$500 children in Tennessee. It's a mighty long way from you and me. 500 children, they're gone every month. I ain't never seen numbers like that. What could be going on? My goodness gracious, and we working hard to get you back home. Working hard to get you back home. Working hard to get you back home.